What's up, everybody? Rushing across the sky, you're only young, but you're gonna die. I just wanted to do a quick little video. This is more in the natural light. We had some massive thunderstorms, like shit I've never seen before in my life, in Florida last night. AI? Are we living in the Matrix? Am I real? My name is Zach. I love a big back. I love the cocoa butter. Zach, I see you went after Voice You. Bro, I could actually play and write songs about you, which would be much more entertaining than you editing a 2-minute video. Just saying, bro. You gotta get a little more creative. I haven't done a video on you or said anything about you because, you know, out of sight, out of mind. But that was really poor, bro. My name is Zach. Gotta do original content. I love Tom Bakovac and my cocoa butter too. I love it. That's all I got. Because if that was Zach, that would be all he had. I'm just making fun of Zach, but anyway, he hasn't done a video on me. I'm giving him some fresh content because he's running out of ideas, so he had to go over to Voice You. Again, I don't understand why he's so infatuated with Tom Bakovac. I think I'm going to have to say, I really think Tom, I'm going to talk about modes in a second. Partner mode, wife mode, Zach's partner mode with Tommy Teabags. Me and Tom have been talking again. I love talking to Tom. He's a fucking character, I'm telling you, man. Tom, I love you, bro. How do they do it? I don't even know. Yeah, there you go. So I figured I'd do a video on modes, but throw that in. I know some of you guys, thank you for liking and subscribing. If you don't know who Zach is, it's Zach Roberts. I don't know his channel name. You can go back and watch some older videos of them trying to tear me down. We got Jitboy now. Man, what a cool fucking riff. I can't wait to do that. I'm working on that still with his management. Can I write a song with that in there? I can do whatever the fuck I want, can't I? Alright, modes. But let me get back to what I was saying. I know a lot of people don't like me going after people. They want to come on here and learn. So I try to mix it all together, do some videos on this and that. And let me explain the reason why I go after people. Because if they're willing to lie about, well, she was a celebrity singer, the lighting guy told me, can you stick around? She's running late. She's going to do. No fucking superstar or famous anybody is doing a sound check right before they go on. I've never, ever seen any kind of art. I've seen cover bands do that in between a cover band, but they pretty much all the mics are already pretty much where they're going to be at. And usually they'll share a drum set and backline. But for the overall sound, including the band, it's pretty much done. The only thing you would have to check is how loud the push is on the vocals or the band vocals. But the guitar, like my guitar, it's as loud as it's gonna go unless I start cranking it or if I start messing with the volume, you know. By the way, this was the Taylor, my buddy Rob Shores. It's for sale on Reverb if anyone wants it. Andy Timmons signed it and somebody else. Rob Shores from Guitar World, Guitar Player Magazine, did a trade with me. I don't know, I might keep it. I don't know. Anyway, modes. A lot of people use that word loosely, like tour. So what are modes? Garbage. To me. I don't like using that name. So somebody asked me recently about this, and so like I'll explain to him why I do this. I think that we were taught wrong, even at GIT to a point, now that I look back at everything. What do you mean? Scales are where chords come from. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 5, 3. It's all degrees of a scale. So I look at my third string as my major, minor. I look at my top strings as chords. I look at the guitar in a different way. I look at it in a writing point of view and a soloing point of view. So let me explain the writing aspect for writing for famous people, like the Beyoncés and whatnot, and all these people. I have a client list, and I only work for certain artists with different labels now as I'm getting older. I'm trying to get out of it. So I might have 10 artists that I write for. Those 10 artists, I have their favorite keys, secondary keys, and a third key that they like to do stuff in. So in a ballad where they can take a little more breath and they're not dancing, I would write maybe in a higher key for them so they can hit those belting notes. You know, so if they can hit a high C, like Mariah Carey kind of stuff, or I'll play in C major. Because that's a lot higher than G major. So I have more tonal options for their vocals. So I have to write according to their vocals. You just don't write music and go, hey, somebody buy it. You write it because it appeals to them tonally. So how I start is I have a client list and I have 3 keys. Ballads, favorite key, secondary key, third key. And that way everything I write for them doesn't sound the same. And I can mix it up. Some artists like key changes. So I might do something like with a dominant second. Let me show you guys. So, and I don't think the picking is necessary. So if I'm writing something in G, I might take a G, a C, and a D. G, C, D. 1, 4, 5. But now I substitute the G with an E. Let's see. Can we do something? Let me see if I do something different. I can go to that D and go 2, can go. Let it ring. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the build up on the dominant second. And you see, I changed the rhythm up. So a lot of the pop songs, you're just changing the rhythm up, not the chord. So that's how I kind of write, but that's how I look at the writing aspect of it. Now I have to. That's why I think more of position, because the tonal aspects when I write for popular artists and the keys that they like to sing in. And believe me, it fluctuates all over the place. You know, you can probably tune your guitar to their key and then play in it, you know, like a half step down or a whole step or half step up. And believe me, there are some people that like to sing above 440, like 444, where it's just a little bit sharp. But a lot of these guys, when I see they're not adjusting for the actual artist, and that becomes a problem a little bit. But also when I look at the soloing aspect, the reason why I don't look at it in modes and I just look at keys and position is because I want to know fives to ones and stuff like that. I'm not really thinking modes. I'm thinking at target tones. Kind of like if I'm playing an A, I might take A sharp, an A major, an A minor, and play out of 3 keys over that one note. Because if that one note is just grooving with no third, 5, or 7, it's like playing chromatic runs. Your key becomes chromatic to the keys modally. So I can play G major, A major, A sharp major, A diminished, C major, E major. Whatever has an A in it, I can play that key. So if I go so you get E sharp major too. So it doesn't matter. I can play in all those keys over this one note. There's no third, there's no 5, there's nothing to dictate it. So it opens up my soloing choices. True jazz musicians do this over a lot. They'll take one chord and play 3 keys over it. And then as fast as that chord moves, they have another 3 keys that chord moves over. Now usually it's all pre-done. They know what keys and chords that they like to solo over, so that's what they'll put where the solo position is. So it makes it a lot more interesting. And then that goes back into some of the artists. Some of the artists do like key changes. So, you know, if I play a dominant second to break it up, so I might change into that. Another trick when I'm writing is I use a minor third. So if I'm here going, from here, I'm just gonna play that 1, 4, 5, and that comes into an F. And if I look at my F, there's a G in there. So that works out. So I relate chord tones and tonal possibilities related to the different keys. Hence why I played by position and pattern. The pattern, position. It makes my life easier, even though I know all the modes in the keys. And starting on this is still G major. I'm just not starting on the G. But all the tonal notes in that key are the same. They don't change. That's why I don't think that way anymore. I'm looking at more tonal possibilities. So like the other day I was playing that metal thing. And then I was playing but you can go backwards. Let's see. There's ways to make it work either way, going up or down off of the same flats or harmonic minors. So I hope this gives you guys a better understanding of how I teach and what I'm teaching, you know, like when I go after these guys and expose them as well. So I hope this is like a different kind of lesson, more explaining about what I do, how I do, and how I think tonally. So like even here, when I'm looking here, I don't care what this chord is. I just want this chord to have some kind of tie-in to the notes in my key. So now if I have that's in there. I got so I'm tying in my notes into all the chords like I do when I solo modally, real modal playing. So I think a little different than the normal guitar player, and this is how I'm able to come up with like really catchy stuff when I write for these pop artists, even though it might be 2 chords. So you're tying. So here's your tie-in note. Ties into any chord with that note. Or so if I go I just try to tie the chord in somewhere with notes in some other key or resolve them out of the 5-to-1s or use a dominant second. So I hope that explains a lot on the chord voicings. So here's a great example of changing keys. Stuff like that. That's very intricate, but it's very simple at the same time by looking at it in not a complex manner, but a very simple manner, and just tying in one note to a chord. So if I went, you get a cool chord progression out of that in a weird manner. And then when you go to solo, you use a tonal possibility. So there you go. I hope that explains a lot in the writing and soloing aspect of how my mind works. Now it's time to go set the dishwasher up. Peace out, and I hope you enjoyed this.